Hey guys, what's up? It's TenneyBox here. Welcome to part 2 of my The Open House review. I decided to just make this our little intro for the video just because I have a lot more to say about this movie and I don't want to drudge it down with like a 30-second intro. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so one thing I wanted to talk about in this movie is the old lady Martha, who, I believe that's her name, has like extremely bipolar attitudes. It's mentioned in like a line of dialogue that she has Alzheimer's. But I just hate this about like horror movies where they have either multiple personality disorder or Alzheimer's or some kind of like excuse for them to kind of like say, hey, I said that he was dead all along, but like yesterday you said he was alive or whatever, the opposite way. And I don't want to sound insensitive when I say that it's overdone because I have personally gone through family members having Alzheimer's. My grandpa actually had it a little bit before he passed away, and that's really sad, but that's not the point of this video. But I just hate how movies use that as like a crutch for like that horror movie moment where he's like, my husband's alive, and then it's like, wait a second, 20 minutes ago you said he was dead. Yeah, I felt like that they did that a lot throughout this movie. They just had these stupid like scare scenes just to be like, oh my gosh, he's actually alive. So there's a really stupid moment in this movie where the mom decides to literally blame Logan for everything that's been going on in the house since day one, which is really confusing to me. I mean, she finds something in the trash, but I don't know how that would be in any way evidence for him screwing around with you this entire time. And like my question is, who actually would like lose a family member? Like, let's say there's a family of 3 or 4 or whatever, only child, dad passes away, the mom and son go to a cabin, and then the son decides to screw with the mom after losing her husband and father. Like, that's messed up. I don't think I would know anybody, and the only answer to that question, the people that would do that are sociopaths, and Logan, from what little character development he's had in this movie, doesn't seem like a sociopath so far. But it gets really heated, and the son actually says like some really messed up stuff. Like, he says, I wish it would have been you, which is insinuating that he wished that she would have died instead, which is so messed up. Like, I don't think, like, when I think of this movie, it's just like the screenwriting is the thing that is literally killing it. Because no people talk like this. I'm sure, yeah, there are some things said in the heat of the moment, but this literally comes out of nowhere. The mom, I think, just gets mad about, I think the door shuts on her again or something stupid. I don't honestly remember, but it was stupid. I just kind of blocked from my memory. But no person in the right mindset, which I guess these characters really aren't, but still, bad writing 101. They're just like, oh, I hate you. I wish, like, you just lost your dad like a week ago. You wish it would have been her, really, dude? That's your logic in this situation. Don't say I'm sorry if you think it was me. Like, I don't know. Like, anything else could have been a better statement, and I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent on this, but it's so annoying, and it was just, like, one of those things that really resonated with me, just pissed me off about this movie, is that one scene alone. Okay, let's talk about another scene inside of that scene alone, because I forgot to mention the stupid moment. Basically what happens is Logan, I almost want to call him Clay, I apologize, he says he has lost his cell phone like a day ago, or a few days ago. Like, I'm sorry. You're a teenager in the year 2018, supposedly, and you don't know where your cell phone is. Like, I can kind of buy into that, but when everything in this movie is just trope after trope after cliche, and all these stupid things are resonating into one little package of bullcrap, it's just so insulting that a character like him, like a teenager, I'm 20 years old, and I have my phone every day. I'm not, like, addicted to it, but it's, like, one of those things where I have it for emergencies and stuff. I have it because it's, like, a safety net. If somebody needs to call me or get a hold of me that needs to, or whatever, if there's an emergency, they can be, ring, call me. But, like, in this movie, he just, like, sets it down, I think, downstairs, and it's just gone for the most of the movie. Like, it's just... everything is just, like, not human nature in this movie. People do the stupidest things. They do the horror movie cliches, they do the horror movie tropes, and then they're surprised when something bad happens, and then they blame each other like freaking Neanderthals. Like, I just don't understand why, like, it's such a small little nitpick, but when the entire movie is nitpickable and just, like, easily could be fixed with this type of a button on the keyboard to change the terrible dialogue or the terrible scene writing. Just, my God, please, somebody needs to have finished this movie up and, like, just polished it a little bit, and it would have been 10 times better. It would have been good, but it would have been better than what we got. So, Yeah, apparently teenagers in this the open house world don't have their phones whatsoever. Just, yeah, it's not a thing. So a third thing to mention that happens in the scene is the son brings up the fact the mom never asked him how he was dealing with this whole thing with his dad being killed in a not drive-by, just a hit and run, that's what it's called. And I've got to agree with Logan on this one. And also, like, it's almost like the writers are self-aware about how bad the writing is. Like, oh yeah, maybe we should have had a scene or two where the mom actually asked how her son's doing after he saw his father get mowed down by a car. Like, maybe that would have been a slight improvement for the script. I mean, maybe not, though. I could be wrong. And that's the thing I want to bring up, just to like put the cherry on top for everything in this review, is that they expect us to care about these characters when they've done literally nothing whatsoever of any redeemable quality to make a character. These are just stereotypes. They're just horror movie roles. They're stereotypes. Exactly. That's like there's the person that dies first. There's the person that goes into the woods like an idiot in the mountains. I mean, there's a person that walks into the basement alone. There's a person that freaks his cell phone. There's the person that has Alzheimer's or multiple personality disorder that says like really they say multiple things with different answers, or the same thing with multiple answers. And it's just that the script is so poorly written, and I feel bad for these actors because they do give solid performances, I'll be honest. Like, some of the performances are pretty good in this movie, but when you have good things in a movie, but the script is just god-awful, and I don't want to sound like I'm just straight up insulting the screenwriters, because I know how hard writing is, and it's really difficult for me to write as well, and I've been working on a book, and I could have a terrible movie like this, or terrible book, terrible script. But when I think of a story, I like to have things that don't have plot holes. I want to have things that make sense, and anything and everything in this movie does the exact opposite of just normal convention, which normally, yeah, that could be a cool thing if they do the opposite of, like, conventional things. But when it's just so downright insulting and infuriating like it is in this movie, I don't care. It's just, they're not people. They're stereotyped characters, and that's not how you write characters. Yeah, you can start with a stereotype of a character, but find out how to improve that character. Great examples of these things, like, exist in all types of medium, where they have just a stereotype of a character, like, I don't know, like, kid who plays video games too much, or something like that. And then they actually delve into that character and actually draw a new character out of that stereotype. People do it all the time in movies and books and TV shows, and I'm tired of having stupid movies where stupid characters exist that aren't even characters. They're stereotypes, they're archetypes. Like, I just want a movie that has a character rather than a stereotype. And that's what this movie is. All the characters are stereotypes. That's what they are. It's the be-all, end-all of this movie, to be honest. So we're about an hour into the movie now, and they get a call from I don't even know who from. It's just from people. I don't remember the people because there aren't people in this movie. There aren't characters in this movie. They're just people. They get a call from a person that says there's somebody in their house. And you know what they do? They go to the house without calling to the police. And then when they walk inside, there's a creepy dinner table set up, and it's like really romantically lit. And it's just like candles everywhere, just like nice tablecloth, and just the table set. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, creepy moments, creepy, yeah. So they call them to play again. Logan tells him, I think it's time we call the police, Mom. And I'm just like, yeah. I mean, didn't you think that when you got a call from somebody saying there's somebody in your house? Like, oh my god, this movie is going to make my brain explode with how stupid it is. So they call the police, and the police basically are useless. Not all cops are useless in real life, obviously. A lot are, not all of them. I have a lot of respect for police officers, but the way they're portrayed in this movie is completely useless in the situation, which I'm sure has happened in real life before too. But yeah, like I said, not attacking cops at all. I love you cops. You're awesome. This is not a medium for me to be making this statement. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. But the cops are basically like, yeah, there's probably teenagers or something, yeah, so we're not going to be able to do anything until somebody's probably dead. Which totally doesn't happen later in the movie, trust me, guys. Yeah. And also, I forgot to mention that everybody in this movie has to sneak up on everybody. I know I mentioned it before, actually, now that I think about it. But I count at least 3 times in this movie, and it's not even finished yet from when I was writing this. like an hour into the movie, at least 3 like dunk jump scares as somebody like taps somebody on the shoulder. Like, come on, just stop it already. Good lord, when will this movie end? Okay, so basically to portray the last 20 minutes of this movie in simple form, basically one of the people that are interested in buying the house gets a call from Logan, and he decides to have a sleepover at their house for whatever reason. I think they're looking for the killer or something. They're looking for somebody. I don't know if I just didn't pay attention in this, or it was just poorly written, or both. I don't know why he's even there. Like, I'm pretty sure Logan just wanted somebody to help him search the premises for somebody, and basically what ends up happening is some stupid stuff happens, and the door opens, and then Logan walks out, and the guy that was looking to buy the house has his throat slit. So I'm just like, what the heck? It's 2 minutes ago he was laying in bed, and like they didn't hear a single thing, really. Like, this killer is so good and just so stealthy and fast. He's like Barry Allen. He's the fastest killer alive. He just like I don't know what happened. So he's like, oh my gosh, he's dead. And then behind somebody's like, welcome to the family, son, and just like hits him from behind. And then the mom gets attacked inside as well. And then Logan goes inside because the killer didn't finish him off there. And then it ends with the mom getting killed in the basement. I think Logan kills her somehow. Oh my god, this movie. And it's like, oh my god, not the mom. And I'm just like, yeah, but wait a minute. These characters haven't been developed. They're not characters, they're just people. That's what I said last time. They're just people. So I'm just like, okay, she's dead. I mean, wow, didn't see that coming. A death with 2 characters in the movie. Oh boy. And then, yeah, the killer's like right there, but he decides to run away. Like, if the killer were standing there and it looks like I would have been able to take him on or whatever, I would have like ran up to him and just charged him and like at least tried to fight for my parent that had just been murdered. Like, you know, I don't know, that's asking for too much. So he decides to run, and then the killer catches him, but then he's like, you got a running chance, boy, after he takes out his contact lenses. Because apparently the killer knows her contact lenses, and I'll be getting that into a moment here. And yeah, basically, he decides to stop after running for a while, and he just stays down in this, like, creek area, and then the killer finds him, like, the next day, and it's just like, hey, welcome to the family, son, and kills him, and that's the end of the movie. It literally ends with them dying. They die. That's it. The killer kills them. There is no resolution here. Oh, and guess what? You don't find out who the killer is. And I'll be discussing who I think the killer is in the next part of this video. So if you want to say that, just get ready for that. And oh my god, this movie is so bad. I just hate it so much. Okay, so my final theory about this movie, and not talking about how bad it is, because no matter if the theory I'm about to state is true or not, the movie was simply unbearable and terrible, and there's nothing redeemable about it, except for maybe, like, yeah, there's nothing redeemable about this movie. I'm sorry. There's some cool shots here and there, but they're few and far between, and this movie really makes you fall asleep a little bit. It's very boring, terribly written, but back to the theory. So, in my opinion, I think the father is the one who killed him, and you're like, wait a second. Didn't the dad die, like, 2 minutes into the movie? Yeah, he did. But honest to God, the way that it was filmed, and the fact that they didn't have a funeral for him, and the father didn't really, he got mentioned a few times, and the mom actually brings up the fact that his father wasn't a good person. So my theory here is that he faked his own death. Because they don't ever have a funeral for him, unless I missed it, unless it was like in the unreleased, unedited, or like behind-the-scenes version that Netflix, like, that doesn't exist, but like, so much time and effort seems like it could have gone into so much more in this movie to make it decent. But the fact that they're working with a terrible script and good actors, but they don't know how to utilize it, is sad. And I don't know how Netflix really took this idea and just made it into an original. Like, that's a diehard dream of mine, right? To have a Netflix original, something I wrote. I love Netflix. Netflix is fantastic. But with this movie, I don't know who approved it, because I feel like I don't know how it works with pitching to Netflix. I'm assuming they have to have some script sent in, or some, I know there's like the pitch meeting or something, or I don't know, like, but I don't see how anybody could have read this script and be like, oh, haha, the horror movie critics and people, like, and there's always a disconnect between critics and people, viewers, normal viewers, right? And I like to position myself more towards the regular viewer side. I don't want to think of myself as snobby. Not that critics are snobby. I love critics. I love film critics. A lot of them, at least. And I've got to resonate in the middle in this. This is a terrible movie for all audiences. It doesn't matter if you're a film critic. It doesn't matter if you're just a regular fan of movies. This movie is bad. It sucks the life and energy out of you. There is nothing redeemable about it other than the acting, and the acting is, yeah, it's okay and it's good, and I really hope and wish the best for the actors and actresses involved, but there's only so much you can do with a terrible script, and this script is beyond terrible. And it makes me almost optimistic, because if they're willing to accept this as a movie, like, maybe mine is like an Oscar-worthy movie. Not Oscar, but, what's the word? I'm trying to think of movie, I don't know. It's 3 in the morning, and I'm freaking tired of this movie, and I'm just going to be done with it. I would love to do a Netflix original, but maybe one day. Hopefully Netflix doesn't hate me after this video, though, for me doing this, because I really like them, and I think that this was just a step in the wrong direction. This movie is bad. Don't watch it. If you really want to watch it because it's so bad it's good things, it's not one of those movies. This movie is just tragically boring, stupid. Characters aren't developed. There aren't even really that funny moments in it. The only funny moments are the ones where they try to be scary, and it's just not. And yeah, there's a difference between being startled and being scary. This movie startles you at some points. Yeah, it goes like, and it plays like a serious sound, like, oh my god, I jumped for 2 seconds. Yeah, that wasn't scary. That's called startling somebody. Horror should be something that's achieved through environment, character development, just scenes, lighting, sound, music. I already said those things, but I'm just trying to really invigorate the fact that these things can have great horror scenes, and great horror movies can be built off of these things, but having just a sound play that's telling me to be scared isn't horror. It's just startling, and it's what's even more startling is how this movie got made. And I apologize if you're a writer watching this, or an actor or actress, or anybody involved in this movie. I apologize if it's offending you in some way, shape, or form. From here, I would say, if you're a writer watching this, which I severely doubt, because you're probably running through money to the bank. I don't know, I could be wrong, though. I would suggest that you focus more on developing characters and actually setting up legitimate scenes, rather than focusing on horror movie tropes. And this goes for any type of genre in the medium, because every genre has their own tropes, right? Yeah, you can have tropes in them. I don't care if there's a trope or two in the movie, but with your whole movie is made completely out of tropes, and it's just out of touch with reality, essentially, it's not gonna be something that's well appreciated and well loved and well enjoyed. It's just not. And this movie, I can tell, I think it means well, but it just isn't good, and I'm sorry if you liked it or whatever. I'm gonna end this video now. It's probably gonna be about 15 minutes again, so I apologize for this. Thank you so much for watching my review, guys. I'm TenneyBox. If you want more movie reviews or TV reviews, let me know in the comment section down below this video. I'm having a lot of fun scripting these out. Definitely takes a lot more time than a regular Let's Play or video or rant or whatever. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this. Keep calm and trust your instincts, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This movie's not good. I apologize if I offended anybody, but I shouldn't really be apologizing because it's my opinion. I'm sorry. What? Oh, irony. Peace out.